Gather we now into this space, this time when the wheel turns and the veil shatters. Gather we now to remember, to grieve, to prophesy, to complete our harvest before the long dark comes. Gather we now to tell the old stories and sing the old songs, to be as we've always been, the voice of our people eternal. Gather we now to celebrate that which was, that which is, and that which will be. Gather we now, as we've always done, united by the story and bound by the love.
What are we? Where are we going? Where I'm Bob Ertman, your worship leader this morning. Welcome. Wherever you come from, you are welcome here. Whoever you are welcome here. Whomever you love, you are welcome here. Whether you believe in God some of the time, all of the time, or none of the time, you are welcome here. And wherever you are going, you are welcome here. The Decolonizing Our Faith series begins next Sunday. 2020 marks the 400th year of the landing of the Mayflower and the pilgrims who began the practice of using their faith as a colonizing force over this land that we know as America and its people. Those pilgrims were, denominationally, the religious ancestors of Unitarians and Universalists. As we recognize the responsibility of this legacy, I invite you to come back the next 4 Sundays in March as we investigate and consider how to decolonize our faith. And now we light our chalice. This morning we light the chalice to show us our way.
To join a Unitarian Universalist church is to enter into a covenantal tradition with the church, with liberal religion, with its members, and with your own spiritual journey. At the center of Unitarian Universalism has always been sacred relationship. One of the tasks of our religious community is to name the bonds that bind us together, one to another and to the larger community that we serve.
Each of our new members has completed the required sessions of the Inquirer series, our pathway course to membership. They have made a formal pledge to support the Unitarian Universalist Church of Annapolis with their time, talent, and resources. They have also agreed to the work of growing their souls and deepening their relationships with others. Here are our new members. Sarah Warren and Alex Stoller. Alex and Sarah got married on October 16th with Reverend John Creswell officiating them. They live in Annapolis with Sarah's son Ander. They like to explore nature, read, and watch movies together, and they are excited to continue on their spiritual journey with this wonderful community at UUCA. Jackie and Sam Wiseman, the Wiseman family. In this picture, you see them with their son Micah and their baby daughter Hannah. They live in Crofton and have been UU since 2009, coming from the Accotink UU Church in Virginia. And they are really looking forward to finding their place here at our UU Church community. And last, we have a returning member, Annie Thornton. Annie, who was the finance officer from 2012 to 2014, is returning, and her and her husband Brian are now fully retired, and their daughter Julia is in college. She is really looking forward to reconnecting with her UUCA friends and family.
Committing to be in covenant. To the new members, today we formally welcome you, new members, into the covenant of love and support that binds us together. As a congregation, we will respond. Will you join us in our covenant to dwell together in peace, to know service as our call, to seek further truths in love, and to offer aid and affirmation? Your response would be, I will.
I will. Congregation of UUCA, as our community welcomes these new members, do you today reaffirm your commitment to the covenant of love and service that binds us all together? If so, respond, we do.
We do. Will you strive with them, congregation, to make love the spirit of our people, to build the beloved community, and to live for one another? Your response is, we will.
We will. And when we falter or fail, and I urge you to look at the screen for this one, because it is valuable for us to recognize that we are all engaging again and again in this process. So please join me in reciting these words on your screen. When we falter or fail in our covenant, and we will seek forgiveness. We know the love that binds us is large enough to hold our failures and our differences.
New members, your presence adds significantly to this love.
Welcome. Let us add our voices together in reciting this covenant, led by Bob Ertman.
And I'd like to remind you of our covenant. Love is the spirit of our people, and service is our call. To build the beloved community, to seek fuller truths in love, to dwell together in peace, to offer aid and affirmation, and to live for one another. This is our covenant.
New members, we are blessed to have you here. We are thrilled to share our faith with you. Welcome to this congregation.
We welcome you to this congregation. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We are so glad to have you here. This is really wonderful. And we just can't wait until we're in a community and we can see each other's faces all together and yours amongst us.
Is this your first group, Reverend AZ?
No, it's my second.
Your second group. All right. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
But just as joyous.
Yes. Amen. Thank you, Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Today we celebrate
Dia de los Muertos,
a ritual that honors love that transcends death. We do this recognizing that this ritual comes from a specific area in Mexico, though it has spread worldwide and is celebrated in all corners of our globe. We recognize that by celebrating it here in Mexico, we affirm the inherent worth and dignity, not only within Mexican culture, but within Mexicans themselves. I urge us to remind us that as we celebrate Mexican culture, open ourselves up to Mexican culture and its messages, so too much we open our communities to Mexicans. If we let culture transcend boundary, we must also let people transcend artificial boundaries. One of my favorite authors is Isabel Allende. In her book, House of Spirits, she writes about a matriarch, Clara, and her granddaughter, Alba. When Clara dies, her family falls apart. Here is a reading from that novel. Just at that moment, Alba entered the room and saw her grandfather reduced to her own height. She went up to him and stared him in the eyes, and when she saw his tears, she threw her arms around him. It was the old man's weeping that told her what the matter was. She was the only one in the family who did not lose her serenity, thanks to her training in surmounting pain and the fact that her grandmother had often explained to her the circumstances and rituals of death. Just as when we come into the world, when we die, we are afraid of the unknown. But the fear is something from within that had nothing to do with reality. Dying is just like being born, just a change, Clara had said. May the wisdom of Clara, of Isabel Allende, of
Dia de los Muertos.
speak and open you to understandings of reality.
I'm Lillian. I wonder what's in the Wonder Box. There are a few seeds in there. Behold. Those seeds remind me of the parable of the mustard seed. Kisa Katami had one child whom she adored. When he reached the age where he could run and talk, he suddenly died. Kisa was overcome by grief. She convinced herself that he was ill, not dead. She wrapped him in a blanket and carried him from doctor to doctor. If they knew, and asked if they knew of any medicine to make him well. One man saw her suffering and responded, I do not have medicine, but I know of one who does. Go see the Buddha. I pronounced that right? Okay, good. She visited the Buddha and said, my child is ill. I was told that you would have medicine. Yes, I know of some, said the Buddha. Since it is customary for patients to provide the herbs, she asked, what herbs do you need? Bring me mustard seeds, he began. Kisa was so relieved that he asked for something easy to find, she almost ran out without all the instructions. He continued, you must get it from a home where no one has died. Kisa knocked on the first house. A woman opened the door and Kisa asked, do you have any mustard seeds? The woman said, yes. She went inside to find the spice. Kisa was about to accept the seeds when she remembered. Oh, one thing, has anyone died in this house? The woman responded, yes, I lost my mother last year. She was the one who planted that beautiful garden you passed as you entered. Kisa was disappointed, but she thanked the woman. As Kisa left the house, she noticed that the sweetness of the jasmine flowers that were in bloom and the beauty of the blue poppies. At the next house, a man who was sitting out front with a closed book held gently in his hands. She again asked for mustard seed. This time she remembered to ask, has anyone died in this house? The man looked at Kisa with sadness in his eyes. That was a reflection of her own. My beloved wife of 40 years passed away 4 years ago. She was the one who loved teaching the children of our town to read, so the library is named for her. She went to other houses, but the answer was always the same. Every house had lost loved ones, grandfathers and grandmothers, aunts and uncles, cousins and siblings, mothers and fathers, sons, daughters, children. There were stories of loss, but also stories of equal love. Kisa finally understood death was a natural part of life. As much as it pained her, she accepted that her son was gone. She laid him down and buried him, but her loved one was not buried.
Our reading this morning is entitled Death is Nothing at All by Henry Scott Cannon. Death is nothing at all. It does not count. I have only slipped into the next room. Nothing has happened. Everything remains exactly as it was. I am I, and you are you. And the old life that we lived so fondly together is untouched, unchanged. Whatever we were to each other, that we are still. Call me by my old familiar name. Speak to me in the easy way which you always used. Put no difference in your tone. Wear no forced air of solemnity or sorrow. Laugh as we always laughed at the little jokes that we enjoyed together. Play, smile, think of me, pray for me. Let my name be ever the household word that it always was. Let it be spoken without effort, without the ghost of a shadow upon it. Life means all that it ever meant. It is the same as it ever was. There is absolute and unbroken continuity. What is death but a negligible accident? Why should I be out of mind because I am out of sight? I am but waiting for you for an interval, somewhere very near, just around the corner. All is well. Nothing is hurt. Nothing is lost. One brief moment, and all will be as it ever was before. How we shall laugh at the trouble of parting when we meet again.